Right, we're going live. Right, we're going live. Evening all. Welcome to tonight's quiz. It's been a busy day today. Even so, the weather's been awful as it was yesterday, but never mind. But I don't know what you've all been up to today. Firstly, I must apologise for the big mistake of doing a picture for today's round, which read the 28th instead of the 29th. An extra half point to all you teams that obviously spotted that deliberate mistake. And it is the 29th today, you'll be pleased to know. Another deliberate mistake, I've just run out of beer. I have got a bit of beer, but I've only got 2 pints in reserve. So it sounds as if I'm going to be staying sober for the majority of this evening, which is might be a trial by the time I get to round 6, but we'll see. But what's everybody else been up to today? Hi Kay and Michael have just logged in, Ian and Emma. Mike Yates is in, nice to see you Mike. Helen and Steve Valentine are here. Chris Speaks logged in, great. We're going to open John Rourke, famous fiver in, oh dear. Now I hope if you saw my Facebook post earlier today, I put some scores down for last Sunday's quiz. I've also got scores obviously for all the others, but I haven't worked them all out. Don't feel, I will try and just post the scores after each quiz, and we'll see who's kind of up there or thereabouts every week, if that makes any sense. So what has everybody else done tonight? Oh, we got Karen Pennington, Nikki Bowers, rearranging one of my sheds. Well, that sounds quite an interesting thing to do. We didn't get up very early this morning, but never mind. We decided to go out for a little spin in my new car. So we tried doing some baking the other day, and I made some bread. My father was a baker, and he was, well, of course, he died a few years ago, which is so he couldn't pass on the wisdom of his ways, but never mind. So I decided yesterday to have a go at making some bread, which kind of looked really good, I have to say. I even used some proper brewing yeast straight from my brewery fermenters, which basically get some slurry at the bottom, and I dug out a nice bottle of slurry, and I thought they'll be great for making bread with. Well, unfortunately, when I came to prove the bread, it didn't rise at all, really. I just kind of got, it went like that rather than whoop. So obviously I didn't use enough yeast. So today we decided to go over to Morrison's in Lutterworth to try and find some yeast. And when we got there, they wouldn't let us in because, well, they would have let us in, but we didn't bother going in because the queue was too long. So I decided to go and look at some old friends of mine, my mate Graham Hemmings, who lives in Lutterworth, and I haven't seen since before Christmas. So we decided to pop in on him and see how they were. So we social distanced ourselves at both sides of the garden in the pouring rain and spoke to each other at a distance, which was fun. But never mind. Right, tonight's quiz tonight, we start round one, is entitled Wednesday the 29th, you'll be surprised. So I need you to write down on a piece of big paper, because there are 13 questions in the first round. I know it sounds a bit strange, but there you go. And then it reads down Wednesday 29th. So Wednesday 29th, all the way top to bottom. Round number 2, if I just get my bit of paper up, round number 2 tonight is going to be, where is it? Here we go. It's a trivia trail where the last letter of the first answer is the first letter of the next answer, all the way down to number 10, where the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1, of course. Round number 3 is entitled the TT round, where each of the answers has got the letters T and T next to each other somewhere in the answer. That's pretty straightforward. When we get to it, you'll figure that one out. Number 4 is a drinks round. As I'm devoid of much drink tonight, it might be an interesting round or a trial for me to go through that round, yes. Round number 5 is basically a last syllable rhyming round. We used to love rhyming rounds at the other Victoria Inn on Sunday nights. I did, yeah, nobody else liked them because some of my rhymes didn't actually rhyme, but most of these do. So you take the last syllable of each of your answers and it should rhyme with the next one all the way through. So all 10 have the last syllable that rhymes. Like butter and stutter and gutter and flutter. You get the idea. So that's round number 5, last syllable rhyming round. And round number 6, basically, tonight is just a general trivia round of 10 absolutely ridiculous trivia, standard trivia questions, which I'm sure you'll all enjoy, or you might not do. Oh my goodness. Where has he got to? I can't see that. Oh, right, Richard. I noticed you just put, hey Nick, could you wish my dad a happy birthday? He's 85 today. Well, happy birthday, Richard's dad, 85 today. Fantastic that you've reached such a milestone. And may you enjoy it more than I do with a few beers tonight. It's getting like House of Games. Oh, we've got Rugby Rotary Club have just joined us with, they're on Zooming each other. Chris Meads is in the fray. Got Greg Prue, Greg, Jill, Mark, Helen are joining us. Evening, everybody. Evening, Greg and the gang. Dead easy tonight, the quiz, you'll be pleased to know. No trick questions. Well, there's 1 or 2, but nothing silly tonight. Not like Organicium. I thought that was a cracker, but never mind. Nobody else seemed to think that was very... John O'Rourke, happy birthday. Tony Potter. Oh, it's Tony, is it? Yeah, happy birthday. Right, we've still got 9 minutes before we start the quiz, but never mind. Yeah, we've also got Ken Meads, one of our friends that quizzes with us on a Sunday and a Thursday evening. It's his birthday tomorrow. I think he's reached the dizzying heights of, how old is he, Han? 103, was he? Oh, no, sorry, 73. No, 63, I don't know. Good old Ken, he's another year older anyway. I'm sure he'll be straight on the phone telling me how old he is in a minute. But he's older than me, so he must be old, very, very old. Never mind. Right, Quizzy Rascals have signed in. Now there's a bit of a problem because they won on Sunday, the Quizzy Rascals, and they were very close, I think, last Wednesday as well. So we've got some very good teams tonight, as always. We've got Tim Morgan's just signed in. Hi all, nice to see you, Tim. Right, I hope you've all got your peanuts ready and everything else ready. Oh, I better... Oh. Right, as I said to everybody who's just recently joined us, do write down Wednesday the 29th, top to bottom, round number 1. So there are 13 general knowledge questions in round 1. First answer will start with a W, second answer with an E, third answer with a D, all the way down to the bottom, where you've got 2 numbers followed by the letters T and H. So that's round number 1. It's pretty straightforward. We'll get going in a few minutes. What's the input? Oh, are they? Our French girl at work says they are white. Oh, well. Multi-choice question the other night. That wasn't my quiz, was it? That was, what was that? That was Cy Carter's quiz, wasn't it? 4 colours, pink, orange, red, blue. Never mind. Yeah, it wasn't my quiz, that one, but never mind. You're probably right. Who on earth would have pink toilet rolls, to be fair? Which country would have pink toilet rolls? Doesn't make any sense, does it, really? You've only got to dye the thing, surely. What's the point? Oh, now who's on some good beer tonight? I see Richard Popper's on some Potter Evens on some Harbour IPA and some Bombay Mix. I haven't had any Bombay Mix for a while. Oh, nice to see Graham Gifford. Jane and Graham have joined us from Cambridge. So we've got the Cambridge crew on tonight. That's what I like to see. So we've got people from Cambridge. We've also got our people from Blackpool have joined us tonight. That's great. Frankensteiner Wheat. Stuart Colwell's on some. There's some great beers about there. Everybody seems to be drinking while they're at home, I have to say. Frankensteiner Wheat. Never mind. You'll be pleased to know I'm on some atomic lockdown, but there's not much of this left. So I need to replenish my stocks, I think, for Sunday night. I should be back on form by then, I think, if we're lucky. So Nicky Bowser in from Bedford tonight. So we've got Bedford. We've got, where's our friends from Norwich tonight? I'm not quite sure, but we'll see. And also Gloucester. We've got some people from Gloucester. I don't know whether we've got anybody joining us from over the pond tonight, as it's a bit early there. Have we? Canada in. Apparently Canada, our Canadian friends are already here and live, ready to go. Mad fools. They've done this once. Didn't anybody tell them the first time? Never mind. Right, 5 minutes to go, and then we've got kickoff. I don't know, has Keith and the Abyss family logged in yet? Yes, Great White are here. Charlie on Foundry. Ooh, Foundry Triple Hot. That sounds very good. And Foundry, what's that? Kirstel Weiss. That sounds good. Well, all you people that are showing off with all these beers you've got, I hope you're going to do well tonight in the drinks round. Probably only one question about beer in the whole round, but we'll see. Oh, Chris is on the south to you, man. Sure. Oh, you're on Ghost Dance. Angie's on a beer from Aldi somewhere, Ghost Dance. She won't share because she got 2 cans, and I've got to drink the rest of my beer up. Never mind. Oh. Right then, quick run down the rounds again. Wednesday 29th, top to bottom, round number 1. Round number 2 tonight is a trivia trail, where the last letter of the first answer is the first letter of the next one all the way down. Yeah, the dream team, the Abysses and Rich T. Oh, well done, Rich. I'd like to see you're on some good beer anyway. He's on what? St. Peter's Plum Porter. That's a good beer to be on. That's Ken, our friend, our 103-year-old friend from, 73-year-old, 63-year-old. Ken from Claremont Road. He's on St. Peter's Porter. That sounds a good one. Right, round number 3 tonight is a double T round, where somewhere in the answer there is a TT, as in, I can't really think of a word, but never mind. Any word with 2 T's next to each other, basically. Round number 4 is a drinks round, which is pretty straightforward drinks round. Round number 5 is the last syllable rhyming round, where you take the last syllable of the first one, is also the last syllable of the second one, all the way down. They're all the same, basically, as we go. And final number 6, round number 6, is a very straightforward general trivia round where you've got 10 ridiculous questions about variously silly subjects and whatever. And of course, all good quiz people should be able to get all of those to finish them off. He's 68 tomorrow. Happy 68th birthday, Ken, for tomorrow. Sorry if I keep calling you 103. 68, that's about right, I suppose. You're doing quite well, though. Look very fit this morning. I hope you're having a beer alongside doing the quiz tonight if you're watching. Sorry, I've already forgotten. You're on the St. Peter's Porter. Going to my brain, but never mind. Right, a couple of minutes and then we're going to get going. So everybody make sure you've got your beer to hand. Make sure we've got Don Quixote. They've just signed in from London and Manchester. So we've got our London and Manchester friends as well. Paula Lewis, Paul and Paul, the Quizzy Rascals. Does that mean we've got 2 sets of Quizzy Rascals playing tonight, or just 1 set of Quizzy Rascals? I don't know. Seem to have lots of Quizzy Rascals. And, right, where are we? I'm already live, aren't I? I don't have to hit that button. Right, a couple of minutes. Oh dear, now I've lost the quiz. That's disappeared somewhere there. Right, what's the stream like tonight? Has everybody got a clear stream? At least I'm hooked up properly to the internet tonight. There are 4 of us in the team. Yes, I won the other night. So, what's that? I don't know. Right, are we all about ready to go, gang? How are we all doing? Mick and Bev are logged in, have they? Excellent. Is Terry on tonight? I don't know. We will see. Ready to go. Can you pull the string tighter at your end? Which string? Oh, around my neck, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'll do my button up as well. Don't want to show off my hairy chest to everybody. Excite all the ladies too much, do we? Right, here we go then. Let me get this up. It is 2014 still. Come on. Come on, time. We'll get going any second now. Right, here we go. We are now live. It's 2015. Question number 1 has got to start with the letter W. Question number 1, SW19 5AE is the official postcode for which famous London sporting venue? So I'll mention that one again. SW19 5AE is the official postcode for which famous London sporting venue? Well, I don't think that was a trick question, was it? Question number 2's got to start with the letter E. How many King Edwards have sat on the English throne? That is a tricky one. So how many King Edwards have sat on the English throne? Remember, that's got to start with the letter E. Unless you put a number there, of course. Question number 4. 3 even. This has got to start with the letter D. At a total length of 40 miles, what London Underground line is coloured green on the Harry Beck's map of 1933? So at a total length of 40 miles, what London Underground line is coloured green on Harry Beck's map of 1933? Sure, we've had that before sometime or another. No more. Question number 4 is specifically for Keith. According to the book of Genesis, who was a great-grandson of Noah, it is the same name used for the 9th movement of Edward Elgar's Enigma Variations, and is also the name of a Hawker Siddeley maritime patrol aircraft. Remember, it's a one-word answer. It's got to start with the letter N. So according to the book of Genesis, who was a great-grandson of Noah, it is the same name used for the 9th movement of Edward Elgar's Enigma Variations, and is also the name of a Hawker Siddeley maritime patrol vehicle. Yeah, that does narrow it down a bit. We want everybody to try and score a magnificent 13 out of 13 on the first round. Let's give everybody a chance, surely. Question number 5. In which city did the murderers Burke and Hare operate? They were responsible for a series of 16 killings committed over a period of about 10 months in 1828. So in which city did the murderers Burke and Hare operate? They were responsible for a series of 16 killings committed over a period of about 10 months, way back in 1828. That easy so far. I hope everybody's keeping up. You've got the letters, make it pay. Question number 6 has got to start with the letter S, remember. What is the name of a street in Mayfair, central London, known principally for its traditional bespoke tailoring for men? It's a 2-word answer. So what is the name of a street in Mayfair, central London, known principally for its traditional bespoke tailoring for men? Nice easy one, that one, I'm sure. Question number 7. This will suit my brother Greg a bit more. Question 7. Which football club that compete in the EFL Championship, the second tier of English football, has played its home matches at Pride Park Stadium since 1997? It's a 2-word answer. So which club that compete in the EFL Championship, the second tier of English football, has played its home matches at Pride Park Stadium since 1997? You can drop the hand out for that if you want. That's all right. Good, fairly straightforward. Everybody's brains hurting yet, or is that... Question number 8, one of those dreaded phobia questions. What name is given to the fear of open spaces or of being in crowded public spaces like markets? So what name is given to the fear of open spaces or of being in crowded public spaces, like markets, for instance? Emil, you must have some phobia. A phobia of your mother hitting you with a big stick or something. That's a good phobia. Marion, I like that one. Question number 9. Remember, it's got to start with the letter Y. Amarillo is the Spanish word used to describe which colour of the rainbow? That's particularly tricky, wasn't that? Amarillo is the Spanish word used to describe which colour of the rainbow? Oh, not that. You got one, I see. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Oh dear. Right, are we ready with question 10? Question 10, listen carefully. Still remaining legal tender, which British decimal coin was issued in 4 designs between 1972 and 1981. I've given you the first number, I think. Oh yeah, we've got the date right. So still remaining legal tender, which British decimal coin was issued in 4 designs between 1972 and 1981. Hands up with some of the song. Yeah, all the way to my father was a silly young. Question number 11, another numeric one. This has got to start with the number 9, not the number 8, remember. It is the 29th after all. To the nearest whole degree. What is the normal body temperature in degrees Fahrenheit? So to the nearest whole degree, what is the normal body temperature in degrees Fahrenheit? Remember, that's got to start with a 9 somewhere. So, all you doctors out there, nurses, healthcare workers, whatever else, anybody that's been checking COVID-19 patients or whatever else. Right, question number 12. Remember, this is going to start with the letter T. It's a 2-word answer I'm after. Referring to the largest land animal ever to walk the earth, what do the 2 words Bronto and Saurus literally mean, as in the prehistoric animal, the Brontosaurus? It's a 2-word answer. So referring to the largest land animals ever to walk the earth, what do the 2 words Bronto and Saurus literally mean, as in the prehistoric animal, the Brontosaurus? That is a 2-word answer. Half point for each one that you get right there. And finally, and it's pretty straightforward first round. Question number 13, last one in the first round, starting with the letter H. Now part of Premier Foods, which company used a cartoon character named Fred the Flower Grader as part of its marketing campaign? So now part of Premier Foods, which company used a cartoon character named Fred the Flower Grader as part of its marketing campaign? Right, that's the end of round 1. All the questions are up on the right-hand side. My daughter Lydia has posted them all online for you. So do take a look at those. I'm now going to give you a minute and then I will go through the answers. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Where's my clock? Where's my clock? Where's my date? Oh, that's wrong as well. It's clocks. How can I ever find them? I don't know. I can't find what I'm looking for on my phone, but never mind. I'll find it in a second. I'm looking for the clock. There it is. Date and time. Well, it would be under that, wouldn't it? Sorry. Yeah, doing a good job there, Lydia. Again, social distancing. Got my daughter Lydia is about 3 meters away. The wife's 3 meters away. She's taking part in the quiz with her team. They're trying to communicate with some. Are you using Messenger? No, you're using WhatsApp, aren't you? They're using WhatsApp. I know Rotary Club of Rugby, they're using Zoom, I think, between them. I'm not quite sure if anybody else is using any other means of communication between the teams. Is Sarah not on tonight? Possibly not. Not everybody can do a Wednesday night. Apparently my brother Ant can't do a Wednesday night because he's busy doing his drawings on a Wednesday night. He's an architect, so we'll allow that. Right, that's your minute up. So here we go. These are the answers to the first. What's that? Oh, is she there? These are the answers to the first 13 questions. Here we go then. Number 1, SW19, of course, was the postcode for Wimbledon. Wimbledon was what I was after, or the All England Tennis Association, Tennis and Croquet Association. But Wimbledon was what I after. Number 2, how many King Edwards have sat on the English throne? That's 11. We had Edward the Elder, Edward the Martyr, Edward the Confessor. Then there was the regnal numbers, Edward the First through to Edward the Eighth. That makes 11 in all. Number 3, at a total length of 40 miles, what London Underground line is coloured green? That's the district line. Number 4, according to the Book of Genesis, who was a great grandson of Noah, well, who was better known as Nimrod, which is also the name of the Hawker City Maritime Patrol aircraft. Number 5, Burke and Hare operated in Edinburgh. Number 6 was Savile Row, of course, that bespoke tailoring for men in London, Savile Row. Number 7, the football team I was after that played their games at Pride Park since 1997 is Derby County. Number 8 is agoraphobia. Agoraphobia. If you want to know how to spell that, that's Agroaphobia, of course. Agoraphobia. Number 9, amarillo is the Spanish for the colour yellow, which is pretty straightforward. Number 10 was a real bugger. This was a special commemorative coin, although it's still legal tender. It was the one and only 25 pence piece. The 25 pence piece. I thought that'd catch everybody out. Number 11, to the nearest whole degree, what is the normal body temperature? Well, I'll give you 1 degree either way. I said to the closest, which would be 99. It's 98.6, but I'll accept, because I'm very generous. I will go 98 or 99 will do. Question number 12, referring to the large land animals, or the largest ever to walk the earth. Brontosaurus literally means thunder lizard. Thunder lizard. Half a point for each of those. And number 13, of course, Fred the flower grader worked for Home Pride. Home Pride. Well done. Right then, everybody, add those up. We'll see how many of you have got a maximum of 13. I don't know whether you would have got that tricky coin question, but never mind. It was only actually minted as a commemorative quarter guinea at the time, apparently. But never mind. If you're lucky enough to have one, they are still legal tender, apparently. Right, we've got some scores. We've got Brian Farmer, very good 10. Sarah with 11.5. Stuart Calder over the 9. Tricky round there for Keith on a 9. We've got Steve Farndon on 10. Ian Miller on 10.5. Tim Morgan, 7.5. Nicky Bowers on 10. We've got Famous 5 on 11. Graham Gifford from 9.5. Mick and Bev on 11. Richard Porter, 9.5. Chris Pickard on 11. Nice to see Chris here. Mike Yates on 10. Ellen and Steve on 9. Andrew Lewis on 10.5. Chris Peake, 10 for them. Drafted question, 10.5. That was Marion. Martin Davison, 9.5. Don Quixote with 11. Michelle Givens with 11. Great White, 7.5. Booby Prize Girls have got an 8. Roy Job with 9.5. Ruth Foster with a 9. Greg Pugh with a 9. Paul Lewis with a 9. So they're all coming in fast. Jennifer Graham on 8.5. Jenny Coulson there from our Lincoln friends on 8.5. Got Ian on 10. Kay Cowland on 10. Andrew Pigger on 11. Well done, Andrew. Adam Foster on 9.5. Bloody temperature dubious. Yeah, it is a bit dubious, that one. I did allow a little bit either way. 98, 99. Quartz, Pick and Mix on 10. Stuart Caldwell. What is the half point for? Rich. Well, you can have half a point for either thunder or lizard. If you didn't put them both down, if you just put lizard down. 8 plus 1 for deliberate mistake. Well, that's 9 then, Karen. I'll allow that. That's fine. Right, so it's all very close. We've got no 13s in the first round. I don't suppose anybody got that ridiculous 25 pence coin question, but never mind. I didn't even know they'd minted one until I looked it up today, but never mind. Right then, everybody, round number 2. Oh, yeah, keys on 10. I thought it's a bit more like it. Round number 2 basically is a trivia trial where the last letter of your first answer is the first letter of your next answer till we get to number 10, where the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1. So here we go. Question 1's dead easy. Starring amongst others Robert Carlyle, in which city was the British comedy film The Full Monty based? So starring amongst others Robert Carlyle, in which city was the British comedy film The Full Monty based? Richard Potter, I got Lizard, Stuart. Stuart Lizard. That's half a point then. Clearly, Lizard's half a point. Bronto. Yeah, Greek for thunder, I presume. Question number 2. Remember, this has got to start with the last letter of your first answer. What was the surname of the country singer who had a #1 hit single in June 1974 with Annie's Song? So what was the surname of the country singer who had a #1 hit single in the June of 1974 with Annie's Song? Very famous. That's our film for the evening sorted after the quiz. Yeah, it was a great film, wasn't it, Martin? I hope you enjoy watching it again. It was a good film. It's well worth watching if you can rustle it up quickly. Right, take the last letter of number 2, and it's the first letter of number 3. I'm sure you'll all get this one. And I don't want any comparisons being made with this, especially you, Angela. Renowned for his slovenly and work-shy attitude, sitting all day in an armchair watching the television, who plays Jim in the TV comedy series The Royal Family? So renowned for his slovenly and work-shy attitude, sitting all day in an armchair watching the television, who plays Jim in the TV comedy series The Royal Family? It's a 2-word answer I'm after. 2-word answer. Now remember, take the last letter of that 2-word answer, or that 2-word name, and it's the first letter of number 4, which is a big help if you haven't got number 4. So number 4, which series of horror films take place in the fictional town of Springwood, Ohio? So which series of horror films take place in the fictional town of Springwood, Ohio? And that answer has got a number of words in it. Are we all keeping up all right? That's 2 film questions in one round. And I'm not a great film. God knows what the wife's killing me off with these chili crisps or something. They're red hot. Oh dear, I've got no blooming beer left. Look at that, it's empty. I'll have to wait till the end of this round. Oh, blimey, that's all. Question number 5. Remember, this has got to start with the last letter of number 4. Typically, start again. Sorry, mouse on fire here. I've got an extinguisher. God dear. Right, question number 5. Typically made from corn. Sorry. Question number 5. Typically made from corn or wheat. What name is given to a kind of thin flatbread which is eaten throughout Mexico? So typically made from corn or wheat. What name is given to a kind of thin flatbread which is eaten throughout Mexico? So 1-word answer. Question number 6. Which fruit, which is botanically a berry, apparently, contains the most calories per gram? So which fruit, which is botanically a berry, contains the most calories per gram? Sure, you'll all have heard of that one before. I don't have one more of them crisps until the end of the round. Dear God. Right, take the last letter of answer number 6, and answer number 7 is this one. Question number 7. With the ability to cover 5 meters in a single stride, which bird can run at speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour? So question 7, pretty straightforward. With the ability to cover 5 meters in a single stride, which bird can run at speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour? That's some going. I wouldn't want one of them after me. Right, take the last letter of that one, and it's the first letter of number 8. Nice, easy one. What is a popular playground game where players toss a small object into a pattern of rectangles outlined on the ground and then hop through the spaces and retrieve the objects? So what is a popular playground game where players toss a small object into a pattern of rectangles outlined on the ground and then hop through the spaces and retrieve the object? I'm going to try one more of these crisps. Now the mouse heated up somewhat. Oh God, they are hot. Question number 9, bit trickier this one. It's a 2-word answer. What is the name of the London Underground station in which a mysterious Martian vehicle is found in the 1967 film Quatermass and the Pit? You've got a letter that may help you. So take the last letter of number 8. It's the first letter of the first word of number 9. What is the name of the London Underground station in which a mysterious Martian vehicle is found in the 1967 film Quatermass and the Pit? I'm not quite sure, Carol, but they're hot. I'd asked the wife for some nice plain crisps, and I've got something which God knows what they are, but they're extremely hot. Right, take the last letter of number 9. It's the first letter of number 10. Located in the Middle East, what is the only city mentioned in the book of Genesis that is still in existence today? So located in the Middle East, what is the only city mentioned in the book of Genesis that is still in existence today? And do remember the last letter of that one is the first letter of number 1, which may help you. So 1-word answer. Right then, everybody, you've got your questions to deliberate over. See whether you can get all 10 of those without going on the internet or cheating or anything else. Remember, you're only playing against, well, you're not really, but I'm just off to go and refill my beer. And I'll be back in a second with some answers. Oh dear. We'll bring you some over in a second. Let's pull it back there. Very hot. Oh, there you go. Oh. Right then, everybody. I trust we all found that round nice and easy then. I don't think there were many tricky ones there. Maybe the underground station was a bit tricky. But other than that, pretty straightforward round, I think. I'm trying to think of words with double T in them somewhere. What? No, 2 letters together. The T's are together, you see. I'm sure if I go on the internet, I can soon find. Right then, everybody. Have we had enough time, or do we need a little bit more time? It's not really as if you're working anything out, so I think we can go pretty much straightforward back to this. Karen Pennington utter. Oh, what does that mean, Karen? Ah, the double T round. Yes, utter. That's a good word. That's exactly what I was after. Can anybody else come up with any words with double T's in them? Never mind, because that's the theme of the next round. So don't write all the answers down straight away. Right, let's go through the trivia trail we started. Starring amongst others, Robert Carlyle. Which British city was the Full Monty based? That was based in Sheffield. That gave you the D for John Denver. I was just after his surname. Oh dear, those crisps. That gave you the R for Ricky Tomlinson, of course, the actor who sat on his backside all day, just watching the telly. That gave you the N for the film Nightmare on Elm Street, which in turn gave you the T for the tortilla, or the tortilla. That in turn gave you the A for the fruit, or which is effectively a berry, apparently, is an avocado. That gave you the O for that bird, the ostrich, of course. That in turn gave you the H for hopscotch, that game that you play in the playground. That in turn gave you the H for that tricky underground station known as Hobbs End. Hobbs End. That in turn gave you the D for the city of Damascus, or what's left of it, or what's left of it. Yes, I don't think, Paul Lewis, you'll be thrown off live chat with words like that one, but never mind, you've got the hang of it. So round number 3, basically you will find double T's somewhere in the word, one of the words of the answer. Not all the words, just one of the words of the answers will contain a double T. Right, let's have some scores in. We've got the famous 5 on 20, a great score. Chris Speak on 19. Brian Farmer was 17. Sarah's on 19 and a half. I've got Great White on 14 and a half. Micah Bev on 19. Graham Gifford 18 and a half. Michelle Gibbons on 20. Stuart on 18. Karen Pennington on 16. We've got the Booby Prize girls on 18. Don Quixote on 20. It's all very close at the top there. Helen and Steve on 17. Jennifer Graham on 17 and a half. Pick and Mix on 19. Nikki Bowers on 19. Ruth Foster on 18. Ian Miller 18 and a half. Richard Potter 16 and a half. Got Harry Cage on 18. We've got Marion on 18 and a half. Andrew Lewis on 18 and a half. Martin Davis 19 and a half. Carol Jackson 17 and a half. We've got Keith on 19. Andrew Picker on 20. Steve Harden on 19. Adam Foster 18 and a half. And Greg Pugh on 18. Paul Lewis on 20 with the Quizzy Rascals. We've got Ghost Dance on 20. Mike Yates on 14 and a half. Chris Pickard on 19. Jenny Coulson on 14 and a half. Tim Morgan on 13 and a half. Any other scores? Doing very well there. So 20 seems to be the winning score at the moment. We've got about 4 or 5 teams, I think, on 20. A lot on 19, 18. Let's see how you fare with the double T round. So every one of the answers somewhere, they might be 2 or 3 words long, but in one of those words in the answer, there is a double T, a double T. So question number 1. Which Scottish historical author and poet wrote the long series of novels collectively known as the Waverley Novels? So which Scottish historical author and poet wrote the long series of novels collectively known as the Waverley Novels? That's more than a one-word answer. Yes, well, yeah, both names, Marion. Let's have both names. And his title, we might as well. Well, it appears the Rugby Rotary Club have got 21 points. That is the highest score at the moment. Well done, Kevin and team, doing very well. Right, question number 2. Remember, there's a double T in there somewhere. In which American state is Salem, where in 1692, 19 people were executed after being accused of witchcraft? So, in which American state is Salem, where in 1692, 19 people were executed after being accused of witchcraft? Remember, there's got to be a double T in the answer somewhere. There's no bonus points for spelling that one. Question number 3. Who served as the 28th and last governor of Hong Kong from 1992 to 1997? Sarah, the theme of this round, you will find the letters TT repeat themselves somewhere in all the answers. So the two letters T and T repeat themselves, like in the word utter, U-T-T-E-R, for instance, or stutter. I think that's well, whatever. No, utter, definitely right. They've got two T's next to each other, so all of your answers should have a T and a T next to each other somewhere in the answer. Question number 4. What name is given to an army unit which consists of between 300 and 800 soldiers and is divided into a number of companies? It is typically commanded, especially in the British Army, by a lieutenant colonel. So what name is given to an army unit which consists of between 300 and 800 soldiers and is divided into a number of companies? It is typically commanded by a lieutenant colonel. Ian, no putting the answers down. I've never really heard of a titter of soldiers. I've heard of a company of tits, but maybe. Sorry. Maybe not. I'm lowering the tone, I know. Question number 5. Nice, easy one, this. Who created and presented The Sooty Show? It was initially produced for the BBC from 1955 to 1967. Good God. So, who created and presented The Sooty Show? It was initially produced for the BBC from 1955 to 1967. That's a 2-word answer I was after. Question number 6 is a bit tricky. It's for you sports fans. This is one that Keith will get, maybe. What is the name of a Scottish professional snooker player who became world professional snooker champion for the first time in 2006? Again, it's a 2-word answer. So what is the name of a Scottish professional snooker player who became world professional snooker champion for the first time in 2006? Remember, the answer has got to have a double T in it somewhere. Oh, don't titter. No, don't titter. Question number 7. Which Lancashire-born disc jockey and comedian had the real name of Maurice Cole? In 1983, he released a hit single entitled Snot Rap. And he was very popular at the time. So which Lancashire-born DJ and comedian had the real name of Maurice Cole? In 1983, he released a hit single entitled Snot Rap. Again, a 2-word answer. Question number 8 is dead easy. Who was the first black footballer to score for England? He scored a hat-trick on his full international debut, a 9-0 win over Luxembourg. So who was the first black footballer to score for England? He scored a hat-trick on his full international debut in a 9-0 win over Luxembourg. Again, a 2-word answer. Question number 9 is dead easy. Who is a fictional character in the television animated series The Flintstones? She is the black-haired wife of caveman Barney Rubble. So who is a fictional character in the television animated series The Flintstones? She is the black-haired wife of caveman Barney Rubble. Just a one-word answer will do for that. And finally, question number 10 to wrap this double T round up. Born in Cambridge, who was an English actor, filmmaker and entrepreneur who directed the film A Bridge Too Far. So born in Cambridge, who was an English actor, filmmaker and entrepreneur who directed the film A Bridge Too Far. Right, that's the end of this round with double T's. You want more cartoon questions? Yeah. I'll see what I can do, Carol. I'm sure we can have something about Billy the Fish next week, or more Viz characters or something. Right. I'm going to try another one of these crisps, see whether it can kill me now it's the end of the round. How are we all getting on? Not too tricky that round, I don't think. Maybe the sports ones were a bit tricky. But I think the rest were pretty much general knowledge. Right, everybody ready for some marking or what? Need any more time? Oh, well, nobody's come up with anything. So let's crack on, give you some answers to the double T round. Question 1, the Scottish historical author I was after was a guy called Sir Walter Scott. I'm sure we've all heard of that. Number 2, the American state in which you would find Salem, where the witchcraft trials took place, was in Massachusetts. There's a double T in there somewhere. Question number 3, who served as the 28th and last governor of Hong Kong? That was Chris Patton. Number 4, what name is given to an army unit that consists between 300 and 800 soldiers? It's basically a battalion. Number 5, who created and presented the Sooty Show? It was Matthew Corbett. Matthew Corbett. There's actually 2 double T's in that. Not that matters. Number 6, the professional Scottish snooker player. This was a bit tricky. It was Graham Dott. Graham Dott. Well done if you got that. Number 7, the Lancashire-born DJ and comedian with the real name Maurice Cole, better known as Kenny Everett. Kenny Everett. He released a hit single that got to number 9 in 1983 called Snot Rap, apparently. Number 8, who was the first black footballer to score for England? He scored a hat-trick in his full international debut. That was Luther Blissett. Luther Blissett. Number 9, Barney Rubble's wife is better known as Betty. And finally, number 10, born in Cambridge, who was an English actor, filmmaker and entrepreneur who directed the film A Bridge Too Far. That was Richard Attenborough, of course. Richard Attenborough. Who? It's Matthew. Well, that's true. No, wait a minute. No, I wanted the original. I did look that up because the words were wrong. Give me a second. Or was it Harry the first? Harry H. Corbett. Yeah, probably. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did put the first one down. Sorry, everybody. Might have been. I was looking at that today. Obviously, I've got Harry H. Corbett. Yeah, he's the old boy, isn't he? Harry H. Corbett. I think he's yeah, he was. Harry was the song. Right, going back. Just a rerun of that question. It was Harry H. Corbett, of course, not Matthew. That was his son. So it was Harry H. Corbett I wanted for that. Or was it? Well, Harry Corbett will do fine. Yes, all right. Harry Corbett's fine. In fact, for the double C, I only needed Corbett, to be quite honest. But never mind. Right then, let's get some scores in. What have we got? Michelle on 29, great score. You're right, Carol. Matthew was Harry's son. Helen and Stephen, 25. Great White, oh dear, dipped out a bit with the 20.5. Richard Potter on 25. Don Quixote, 30 points. That's very good. Steve Farnan on 26. We've got Paula on the Quizzy Rascals on 29. Brian Farmer on 24. Graham Gifford, 26.5. Very good. We got Chris Speak, 29. Andrew Lewis, 26.5. We've got Nicky Bowers on 25. Adam Foster on 24.5. Sarah, 27.5. We've got, oh, God, blimey, I've lost it now. Never mind. We've got Ian on 26.5. Nick and Bev on 27. Stuart Colwell, 25. Marion on 26.5. We've got the famous 5 on 30. Very good score, John, on the gang. We've got Ruth Foster on 27. Ian Miller, 25.5. We've got Ghost Dancers on 30. Andrew Picker on 30. Mike Yates on 22. Karen Pennington on 22. Greg Pugh on 26. Courts Pick and Mix on 27. We've got Keith Abbott, 29. Booby Prize Girls on 22. Carol Jackson on 25. Stuart Colwell, 25.5. Both on 25.5, sorry. Richard Potter with the revised score of 24.5. Now, have we got the scoring from the Rugby Rotary Club? How are they doing? We've got Kay and Michael on 28. Great scores there. Nothing wrong with that at all. So we've got a couple of 30s in. We've got a 30 in from the famous 5, and we've got a 30 in from Don Quixote. A couple of 29s, 2 or 3 29s. But the Rugby Rotary Club, who were in last time, they still haven't put their score up yet because they were on 21, I think. Oh. I'm running out of beer fast, but never mind. I'll have to go on to water or something, you know, milk, tea. Maybe we can get some tea or coffee. Right, and number 4 is a drinks round. Surprise, surprise. So, 10 general knowledge questions about drinks of some description. So where's RCR's score? Come on, RCR, I haven't got your score yet. 30. That's more like it, Kevin. Right, so we've got 3 teams on 30 now. So this is a dead easy drinks round. Here we go then. Question number 1. Straight for my business partner, this one. Question number 1. What are the 4 main ingredients that are used to make traditional real ales? So what are the 4 main ingredients which are used to make traditional real ales? That's better. Have you mixed the puffs in now? Or were they in there before? Oh, I didn't realise I'd also got puffs in my bowl. I've got cheddars in there as well. All right. Ah, I thought they were all crisps, hot crisps at the top. Right, question number 2. What is a brand of beer that originated as a fictional beverage on the animated series The Simpsons and just happens to be Homer's favourite drink? So what is a brand of beer that originated as a fictional beverage on the animated series The Simpsons and just happens to be Homer's favourite drink? Is that good enough, Carol? It's kind of a cartoony question. Question number 3. Doesn't take much thinking about. Which Spanish artist painted Absinthe Drinker in 1901 when he was just 22 years old? It now hangs in the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. I think they just call it the Hermitage, actually. Never mind. So question 3 again. Which Spanish artist painted Absinthe Drinker in 1901 when he was just 22 years old? It now hangs in the Hermitage in St. Petersburg. Don't think too long, just stick your answer down. Question number 4, there's 2 half points here, up for grabs. Listen carefully, a bit wordy, but never mind. Question number 4, although probably not true, name the 2 politicians involved in this witty exchange. Sir, if you were my husband, I would poison your drink. Madam, if you were my wife, I would drink it. So question 4 again. Although probably not true, name the 2 politicians involved in this witty exchange. And it goes as follows. Sir, if you were my husband, I would poison your drink. To which the reply came, Madam, if you were my wife, I would drink it. That's quite clever. So just name the 2 politicians. Half a point for each. Question number 5, that easy one. A brand of vermouth. From which country does the drink Cinzano come from? So question 5 again. A brand of vermouth. From which country does the drink Cinzano come from? It goes on to say the brand has been owned since 1999 by Campari Group of Companies. So I'll repeat that again. Question 5 again. A brand of vermouth. From which country does the drink Cinzano come from? The brand has been owned since 1999 by Campari Group of Companies. Should read by the Campari Group of Companies. Expecting my questions as I go. All right, how are we doing all on this round? Beer-related round or drinks-related round? Question number 6. What is a beer cocktail made with a stout and white sparkling wine, traditionally champagne? The drink was first created by the bartender of Brooks Club in London in 1861 to mourn the death of Prince Albert. Get rid of it. So what is a beer cocktail made from stout and white sparkling wine, traditionally a champagne? The drink was first created by the bartender of Brooks Club in London in 1861 to mourn the death of Prince Albert, apparently. Lovely drink. Can't say I've ever had it, I have to say, but it's probably all right. Especially if you get a nice chocolate stout. Question number 7, just a one-word answer I'm after. I'm sure you'll all get this. Also known as black treacle. What is a viscous product resulting from refining sugarcane or sugar beets into sugar? Rum is traditionally made using this liquid. So also known as black treacle. What is a viscous product resulting from refining sugarcane or sugar beet into sugar? Rum is traditionally made using this liquid. Question number 8. Never a truer word said. Which famous Irish poet and playwright once said, "Work is the curse of the drinking class"? So question 8 again. Which famous Irish poet and playwright once said, "Work is the curse of the drinking class"? Never a truer word said. Question number 9, this will find out a few people, we'll see. A few of those that think they might know it, perhaps don't know, but we'll see. Question number 9, standardised by an Act of Parliament way back in 1454, how many gallons of beer does a hogshead hold? There's a good one, isn't it? So standardised by an Act of Parliament way back in 1454, how many gallons of beer does a hogshead hold? A hogshead being a large container. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Let's see whether Stuart Colwell can get that. Keith Abish. Who else is on here that are beer drinkers? Who else is on here that beer drinker? Oh, Richard Potter. Chris Pickard. Yes, Chris Pickard. Let's see where we can catch him at. And finally, question number 10. In 1984, what drink was Michael Jackson advertising when he was badly shaken after a pyrotechnic used during the performance set light to his hair? So in 1984, what drink was Michael Jackson advertising when he was badly shaken after a pyrotechnic used during the performance set light to his hair? Well, pretty straightforward round there. Perhaps that hogshead question was a bit tricky, but besides that, I think maybe the politicians. Right, I'll give you a minute to just get those down before we go into round 5, which tonight is entitled The Last Syllable Rhyming Round. This is one of Martin Davis's favourites. He loves my rhyming rounds. But to be fair, Martin, I'm only trying to rhyme the last syllable rather than the whole word. I think Kay used to like my rhyming rounds as well, didn't you, Kay? Right then, we all ready for some answers for the drinks round? Or have we still got people in our team posting answers in? Don't use that internet, remember, we don't need that. So here we go, the drinks round. Question number 1. The answer was, what are the 4 main ingredients which are used to make a traditional real ale? That's water, malt, hops, and yeast. I will accept malted grain, so some kind of malted grain, water, hops, and yeast. Question number 2. The brand of beer originated as a fictional beverage. That was Duff beer. That's Homer's favourite beer. Number 3, the Spanish artist that painted Absinthe Drinker was Pablo Picasso. Number 4, although probably not true, name the 2 politicians I was after. Sir, if you were my husband, I would poison your drink. Which came the retort, Madam, if you were my wife, I would drink it. That was Lady Astor and Winston Churchill, apparently. So Lady Astor and Winston Churchill. Number 5. Cinzano comes from Italy. Number 6, a cocktail made from stout and white sparkling wine. Traditionally champagne is called a black velvet. Number 7, also known as black treacle, it was molasses I was after. Number 8, which famous Irish poet and playwright once said, work is the curse of the drinking class. That, of course, very, very witty, Oscar Wilde. Number 9, standardised by an Act of Parliament way back in 1454, a hogshead contains 54 gallons of beer. 54 gallons of beer. Well done if you got that. And number 10, in 1984, what drink was Michael Jackson advertising? He was advertising Pepsi or Pepsi Cola. Right, let's see how we've done with that. Sorry, Marion, you missed number 1. The answer to number 1 was water, some kind of malted grain, such as malt, hops, and yeast. So water, hops, yeast, and a malted grain. Very good, Chris, with a 38. Don Quixote with a 39. That's a great score, actually. Don Quixote, Ian James and the gang doing very well. We've got here, Helen and Steve on 34. That's a good score. Sarah on 36.5. Mifflin Better on 33. Great White, 37.5. Got Stuart Caldwell with a 33. Ian Miller with a 33.5. We've got Nicky Bowers, 33. Graham Gifford with 33.5. Michelle Gibbons, 37. Famous 5 on 39. Great score, John on the gang. Martin Davis, 36.5. We got Andrew Davis, 34.5. Ruth Foster's on 34. Keith's on 37.5. Greg Hughes on 35. We've got Pick a Mix with no score down there. Got Brian Farmer with 31.5. Steve Farndon on 33. We've got Anne Foster, 32.5. We've got Richard Potter on 30.5. Pick a Mix on 34. Jennifer Graham on 30.5. Carol Jackson, 33. We got the Booby Prize Girls on 30. Ian's on 34. Quizzy Rascals on 38. Very good score. Chris Pickard with 35.5. Stuart Colwell got the hog's head wrong. That was a tricky one, though, Stuart. That was a tricky one. I would have got it. It's 1.5 barrels, apparently. Carol Pennington's on 30.5. Andrew Picker on 37.5. With Ian, Harry, Julie, and Ian on 34 points. So it's great scores. Now, what about the Rotary Club? I don't know what they're on at the moment. Let's just wait for their score to come in. So 39. We've got 2 teams on 39. They've challenged each other in the pub before. I remember the Don Quixote and the Famous Five have both been head-to-head before in the pub on the Sunday night quiz. Oh dear, oh dear. They all used to moan about each other, but never mind. That's what quizzes are all about. Don't moan about the other team. Well, we've got Ghost Dance on 39.5. In the lead at the moment, 39.5 Ghost Dance. Got the hog's head wrong. Right, we're still waiting for RRC or RCR or RC. No, I won't wait for them. Right then, round number 5 is basically the last syllable rhyming round. The last syllable rhyming round. Take the last syllable. You take the last syllable of each of your answers, and they should be the same as the next one, if you get the idea. So to get you on the right road, question number 1 is fairly straightforward. Question number 1, derived. Are we ready? Oh, Joyce said Martin knows. Derived from Arawak and Spanish. I mean, you can't think of 2 more similar languages. And meaning a wooden frame standing on posts. What is a popular summer outdoor cooking device? Just a 1-word answer. So derived from Arawak and Spanish and meaning a wooden frame standing on posts. What is a popular summer outdoor cooking device? Yes, Marion, 2 politicians are 1 point. If you got half a politician or only one of the politicians, is half a point. Or if you've got half a politician, it's a quarter of a point. Question number 2. Remember, the last syllable of the first one has got to be rhyme with this one. So question number 2. What is a 1964 British epic war film depicting the Battle of Rorke's Drift in the January of 1879? So what is a 1964 British epic war film depicting the Battle of Rorke's Drift in the January of 1879? Just a 1-word answer. Ooh. Bird ceiling. Type that out for you. Listen to them. Question number 3. Who is one of the main fictional characters featured in Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book? He is the strict teacher of the cubs of the wolf pack, although his most challenging pupil is the man cub Mowgli. So who is one of the main fictional characters featured in Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book? He is the strict teacher of the cubs of the wolf pack, although his most challenging pupil is the man cub, even Mowgli. Man cub. So remember, the last syllable of each of these answers should rhyme with each other. Well, loosely, that is. I was never very good at English at school, so you've got to give me a little bit of leeway for being a duffer at English, but never mind. Syllables especially. Question number 4. Derived from the French meaning to cover the fire. What word is used to describe a regulation requiring people to remain indoors between specified hours? And it's not lockdown. So derived from the French meaning to cover the fire. What word is used to describe a regulation requiring people to remain indoors between specified hours? And for your information, it's not lockdown. Question number 5. I couldn't believe this the other day. I was looking at some 50% of people said this and that, when I was, more than 50% of Britain's population thought this was actually a made-up name of a city. So here we go. Well, town, whatever. Question number 5. Also a World Heritage Site. What is an ancient city in Mali situated 20 kilometers north of the Niger River? So question 5 again, also a World Heritage Site. What is an ancient city in Mali situated 20 kilometers north of the Niger River? Just a one-word answer. And for all you quizzes, 50% of the population thought that was made up. Ha! Just goes to show a lot of education to do still. In fact, question number 6, dead easy, from the French, meaning present oneself. What word means a meeting at an agreed time and place? Again, a one-word answer. So from the French, meaning present oneself, what word means a meeting at an agreed time and place? Remember, all the last syllables should rhyme. Well, nearly. And that was too easy, wasn't it? Question number 7. Also known as Bailan melons in China, what is the popular name for this melon, which has been grown for many years in southern France and Algeria? So also known as Bailan melons in China, what is the popular name for this melon, which has been grown for many years in southern France and Algeria? Put it about 3. Mine doesn't rhyme. Where's 3? Think of one that does then, Marion. Think of one that does. It's no good if you put Shere Khan down. Question number 8. The common reindeer is also known by what other name in North America? It is a species of deer with a circumpolar distribution. So question 8 again, the common reindeer is also known by what other name in North America? It is a species of deer with a circumpolar distribution. Question number 9. What can be a lucky charm or the name of the largest waterfall on the Niagara River? So what can be a lucky charm or the name of the largest waterfall on the Niagara River? That's just a one-word answer I'm after. And finally, question number 10, probably the toughest in the round. What is a language spoken by over 30,000 people in the United States and Canada, making it the 3rd most spoken indigenous language in the United States of Canada, behind Navajo and Cree? So question 10 again. What is a language spoken by over 30,000 people in the United States and Canada, making it the third most spoken indigenous language in those countries, behind Navajo and Cree? Right, you've got all the questions on the right-hand side. So let's see how we've fared, should we? I'll give you 60 seconds to get those done. We'll do some marking before we go into the ridiculous last round, which is basically just silly trivia knowledge. Now, talking of that, we had, I think, the Rugby Rotary Club, the RCR, on 39 points. We had Chris Mead's Ghost Dance on 39.5. We had Famous Five on 39. Don Quixote were on 39. So we've got a few good teams out there. We've got plenty of 38s and 37s, all to play for in this last round. Right, I'll just go through these answers to these quickly, see how you've fared. So question 1, derived from the Arawakan Spanish, meaning a wooden frame standing on posts, where the popular name for an outdoor cooking device is a barbecue. Number 2, the name of that British epic war film was called Zulu. Question number 3, one of the main fictional characters featured in Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book, the strict teacher of the cubs of the wolf pack, is better known as Baloo. Number 4, derived from the French meaning to cover the fire, what word is used to describe a regulation requiring people to remain indoors? That's a curfew. Number 5, the name of that World Heritage Site in Mali is Timbuktu. I'm sure we've all heard of that. It is a real place. Number 6, from the French meaning present oneself, I wanted the word rendezvous, meeting in an agreed time and place. Number 7, the type of melon I was after was a honeydew. Number 8, of course, is the caribou, that type of deer with a circumpolar distribution. Number 9, the largest waterfall on the Niagara River. Well, it's the Horseshoe or the Horseshoe Falls, also a lucky charm. And fine, number 10, a bit tricky. Behind Navajo and Cree, the language I was after was Sioux. Sioux, that's S-I-O-U-X, Sioux. Right then, add them up and we'll see how you scored after that round. I don't think that was too tricky. There were 1 or 2 in there maybe that were a bit awkward. But let's see how many we've got with a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Oh, where have I got to? Oh, lovely. What have we got to? So Chris Speak on 38. Come on, Chris, you're nearly there. We've got Ellen and Steve on 34. We've got Don Quixote 39. Sarah's on 36.5. It's all very close. Mick and Bev on 33. I've already said these or not? Yes, I have, haven't I? Or have I? Oh, no. Yes, sorry, we're in the 40s now, aren't we? Let's get there. Sorry, I was reading out the wrong ones, but never mind. Well, Don Quixote, they've moved on to 49. Very good score. Andrew Lewis, 44.5. Sarah's on 44.5. We've got Carol, 43. We got the Booby Prize Girls on 37. Richard Potter, 38.5. Stuart Colwell on 43. Marion on 42.5. We've got Great Work on 37.5. Got Nikki Bowers on 43. Helen and Steve Valentine on 43. Steve Farnan on Steve on 42. We've got Ruth Foster on 44. Michelle's on 47. Chris Speak, 47. Mick and Bev, 41. Keith Abbey's 48.5 recurring. Greg Pugh on 45. We've got Andrew Picker on 47.5. We've got Chris Pickard, 43.5. Mike Yates, 33.5. Karen Pennington's on 38.5. We've got Ian Miller on 41.5. Adam Foster on 40.5. Famous Five dropped a point there. They're on 48 points. Martin Davis, not bad at all on there. Not as bad as First Fear, 46.5. We've got Jane Givert on 41.5. Quizzy Rascals on 47. Pick a Mix on 42. I demand a recap from his brothers. The Farmers, Holden New on 39.5. We've got Ian Sharrett on 43. Jennifer Graham, so proud of us, 10 out of 10 on 40.5. We've got John W, 28.5. Ghost Dance on 39.5. Oh, it's 48.5 apparently. John W. Well done, Mike Yates. Blah, 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 blah. So wait a minute, where does that leave us? They're on 48.5, are they? Famous 548. And we've got Don Quixote 49. I think Don Quixote at the moment are in the lead by half a point. So all to the last round, all to the last round. You can easily lose a few points on this round. Oh no, we've got the Rugby Roach Club on 49 as well. Great scores. Where is John W? John W 28.5. It's our first. Oh right, John W. Nice to see you and thanks for logging in. Where are you from? Are you rugby or are you from further afield? It's great to see people from all over the place and even all over the world, but never mind. And as you get to know the format of the quiz, it actually gets a bit easier. You know what I'm asking for rather than what I'm not asking for. Now, yes, especially if you can understand my waffle. Right, the last round tonight is a general trivia round. So dead easy, 10 general knowledge questions, most with rather silly answers or not. Some have got silly answers. Most are pretty straightforward though. So this will sort out the wheat from the chaff. Forest of Dean, great. Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, well, fair enough. Forest of Dean is a nice area of the country. I hope you're doing okay with the lockdown because it's... Anyway, here we go then. Last round, general trivia. Question number 1. According to legend, Robert the Bruce was inspired to return to battle after watching what type of creature succeed at something after several failed attempts? So according to legend, Robert the Bruce was inspired to return to battle after watching what type of creature succeed at something after several failed attempts. Nice easy one to get you going there. Don't think everybody will muck that one up, will you, surely? Question number 2, I think the famous 5. I think Mick and Bev will get this one. Who else was going to get this? There's a few. Marion will get this. Question number 2. Which of the following English composers was born in the 20th century? I've put English twice actually there, Liz. You might want to take that out. So which of the following English composers was born in the 20th century? I'll give you the choice. Was it William Crotch, Geoffrey Bush, or Ronald Binge? So which of the following English composers was born in the 20th century? I'll give you the choice. Was it William Crotch, Geoffrey Bush, or Ronald Binge? Aren't they great composer names, those? It's a good name, that, isn't it? Binge. Question number 3 is dead easy. You'll all get this one. Except I put an F in there. Have you seen the F there, Liz? Take the F out. Question number 3. In which 1975 American thriller film directed by Steven Spielberg did Roy Schneider play a sheriff and Richard Dreyfuss a marine biologist? So in which 1975 American thriller film directed by Steven Spielberg did Roy Schneider play the sheriff and Richard Dreyfuss a marine biologist? Paul, I will change the picture. I'll try and change my seating position. The problem is this lead here, you can't see it, but I've got a lead here which connects me to my router, and I've only got a 2-meter lead, so I've got to be fairly close to my router. If anybody's got a 10-meter Ethernet lead, let me have it. I've probably got one at the pub somewhere if I look. And then I can sit anywhere in the room. I can give you a view of my room, a room with a view. Question number 4, listen carefully. What type of DIY equipment did Desperate Dan use to take a shave, as his beard was so tough? So what type of DIY equipment did Desperate Dan use to take a shave, as his beard was so tough? I have a 10-meter lead if you want one. I only need to borrow it, Martin. So yes, I'll have one off. I'll borrow it off you. I'll run round in my new car and come and pick it up. Yeah, I could even sit on the toilet and do the quiz then. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Oh dear God. Question number 5 for all you bird lovers. Sure you'll like this question. Question number 5. Which of the following is not a real species of bird? Now listen carefully. I'll give you the choice. Is it the cinnamon-breasted tit, the little brown bustard, or the great brown booby? Aha! It's all electric, Karen. That's the point. So I can go out and... So question 5 again. Which of the following is not a real species of bird? I'll give you the choice. Is it the cinnamon-breasted tit, the little brown bustard, or the great brown booby? That's a stupid question, I know. Don't ask. Question number 6. How many bridges in total do the competitors go under during the annual university boat race? I'll put off that in there. You need to get rid of that bit. Should read. How many bridges in total do the competitors go under during the annual university boat race? I'll give you the choice again. Is it 2, 3, or 4? Jane, it's a busted. B-U-S-T-E-D. Busted. I think. I better just check that, actually. Oh, no, it's bustard. Bustard. Sorry. It's bustard. That doesn't mean to say it's right or wrong, but it's bustard all the time. Sorry, Karen, I'll get back to you in a minute. Question number 7. What is a day of the week? It is also the surname of the detective inspector in the TV series Endeavour. So what is a day of the week? It is also the surname of the detective inspector in the TV series Endeavour. Question number 8, dead easy one this. What vowel is nearly always at the top of an ophthalmologist's Snellen chart? A device invented in 1862 and used to test for visual acuity. Bastardo. It could be the lesser spotted bastardo, I suppose. Bastardo. Oh dear. So question 8 again. What vowel is nearly always at the top of an ophthalmologist's Snellen chart? A device which was invented in 1862 and used to test for visual acuity. Who's playing? I don't know. I haven't seen the Greys tonight. Never mind. Question number 9. This was on the Chase or the New Chasers program only last night. So question number 9, a humidor is a humidity controlled box or room used primarily for storing what type of products? So question 9 again, a humidor is a humidity controlled box or room used primarily for storing what type of products? Oh, you're missing that for this. Yes, we're missing that for this as well. It got a bit more exciting last night, I have to say. I thought the first night was awful because they had contestants that were far too over the top. But last night it seemed a bit better, I have to say. Yeah, the new chase program, I can't remember what it's called. Never mind, you can get it on catch up, Marion. It's not a problem. Question number 10, final question of the evening. In the old nursery rhyme, Oranges and Lemons, how many sets of bells are mentioned in total? So that's sets of bells. So in the old English nursery rhyme, Oranges and Lemons, how many sets of bells are mentioned in total? Right, then I'm going to give you exactly a minute because I don't want anybody cheating on that round and trying to look them all up. So let's go, and then we can see who's tonight's winners. We've got pretty much a 3 or 4 way tie at the top. Can you get that bird right? That was a tricky one. That was a busted of a question, I have to say. Ha ha! Do you have an electric optician's chart for my lad? He has a photographic memory. Very good. Jackie, Skip, I got an audition. Oh, stay for that. Did you? Well, what happened? Because there was a woman last night who had a very awkward first round question, I thought. And I think it's a bit mean in that game that you'll just get the first one wrong and you've blown it straight out the water. Because the guy that followed her had a dead easy question, but it was the colour of that, what was it called? Apple door? What was it called? Which she thought was green and I thought was green. I'd never heard of it, but apparently it was a bright orange spirit or something. I can't remember what it was anymore. I might if I saw it again. Right then, less of my waffling, and let's go back to the answers. So here are the answers to round number 6, the general trivia apérole. That was it, apérole. Well done, Marion. I thought somebody would know straight away, and there we have it. So question number 1, according to the legend, Robert the Bruce was inspired by a spider. I'm sure you all got that. Question number 2, which of the following composers was born in the 20th? He also died in the 20th century. It was Ronald Binge. He was born 1910, died 1979. Number 3, the American thriller I was after was the film Jaws. Well done if you got that. The DIY equipment that Desperate Dan used to have a shave with is his blowtorch. He uses a blowtorch. Number 5, which of the following is not a real species of bird? I gave you the choice. The cinnamon-breasted tit, the little brown busted, or the great brown booby. Well, it's the great brown booby. There is a brown booby, but there's no great brown booby. The others are proper birds. Number 6, how many bridges in total do the competitors go under during the annual boat race? Well, that's 2. I gave you the choice. Was it 2, 3, or 4? It's 2. It's Barnes Bridge, the railway bridge, and Hammersmith Bridge, the road bridge. Number 7, what is the day of the week? It's also the surname of Detective Inspector in the TV series Endeavour. He was known as Fred Thursday. So Thursday was what I was after. The vowel that's nearly always at the top of a Snellen chart is the letter E. Number 9, this was there last night, somewhere in there. A humidor typically is for the storage of tobacco or tobacco products. Something to do with cigars. They use indoor for cigars, but nearly always used for tobacco products. And finally, number 10, in the Old English nursery rhyme, Oranges and Lemons, how many sets of bells are mentioned? There are 6 sets of bells mentioned. We have St. Clement, St. Martin's, the Old Bailey, Shoreditch, Stepney, and the Great Bell of Bow. Right then, everybody, let's just have a tot up and see how we're fared. I like that. Yes, if you tried looking up the birds, that could have been tricky on Google, I suppose. Great brown boobies might have come up with something different. I understand that. makes them tricky to answer. So we've got some questions, we've got some answers in, and we've got some scores in. We've got Marion with 48.5, Steve Farnham with 45. We've got Sarah with 47.5, Michael Bevan with 47, Martin Davis 53.5. We've got John O'Rourke's famous 5, 54 to beat. We've got Mike Yates 37. We've got Andrew Lewis 50.5, very good score. Stuart Cole with 47. Richard Potter with 41. Then 50. Oh god, blimey, he's just going off this. Don Quixote with 53. I would have dipped out 1 point there. We've got Nicky Bowers on 47. The Booby Prize Girls 55. 56. Quizzy Rascals 56. We have got Ruth Foster with 51. 51 brilliantly tricky questions. Yeah, thank you. We got Insurance 49. We've got Cam Pennington with 44.5. Steve Valentine 51. Brian Farmer 54. We've got Andrew Picker 53.5. Jill Pugh 51. Very good, Greg. That's an excellent score. Anybody in the 50s has done very well tonight. Jennifer Gowan 44.5. Thank you. Ellen Foster with 44.5. John W will hopefully get better. Thanks to everyone. We've got Leslie Barrett 50. Horrible last round. It was a bit awful, but never mind. We have got some impressive scores tonight. We got Kay with 53. That's a really good score. Kay and Michael from the band. You need to put your team names down as well. If any of you are in teams or part of a team, do put your team name down rather than your personal names, because they're known as the band. Kay and Michael. Well, I don't mind. I honestly don't mind. Whatever. It makes it easier for marking and putting things down if it were a team name, but it's totally up to you. So what? Where are we at the moment? The scores, we've got 56.5 from Ghost Dance. We had a 53 a meltdown by the Joneses. 53.5 Martin Davis. That's a great score for Martin in the game. Who else have we got? I saw somebody else 56. Quizzy Rascals have been very well somewhere. They're on 56. The Quizzy Rascals again. Great last round. Yeah, some great scores there. It's not a Wednesday or Saturday. We'll come down. See, we'll make sure it's not Wednesday or Thursday. Right. Well, next quiz, you'll be pleased to know, if we can stand anymore. That's 10 quizzes we've done in 5 weeks since we've been locked down. Cheers, John. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it tonight. How did you, the famous 5, end up in the end? You must have been in the top 3 or 4, easy. In the top. Never mind. 54. I think we've got a 56 somewhere, haven't we? But never mind. Anyway, great quiz. Thank you all very much for taking part. I hope you all enjoyed it. If not, we will see you. Keith, is that you blocked on Facebook again, Keith? For making lewd comments, probably. dodgy pictures of English flags, or flags of England. Yeah, you don't want to put that on. Thanks, Andrew, and thanks, Roy. Martin Davis, I will be around to come and pick that lead up off you. That'll give me some... what the hell? Anyway, great to see you all. Thank you very much. We'll see you Sunday night. I will put the scores up on the thing for everybody to see. Maybe tomorrow when I've worked them all out, because there's about 50 or 60 of you taking part, or 50, 60 teams or whatever. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, and good night. And we'll look forward to seeing you at 8 o'clock for 8:15 Sunday evening, where I hope to have a little bit more beer than I've had tonight. So thank you very much and good night. Cheers.